Hi, love. It's Arylo here, and I'm just stopping by with a little pressure release love for you. I'm just finishing up my yoga practice, which is why I'm wearing this white hat and laying on my little white floofy mat in my studio. If you're wondering why I'm laying on the ground here talking to you, but I wanted to send this out to you from my heart to your heart. We are at the end of this moon phase, the end of the moon. The new moon is tomorrow, and it's a great day to release, to really just release what just doesn't need to get done. And as I've been thinking about the 40-day burnout to balance practice that we're starting on Saturday, and I myself have been on a practice for the last 40 days to really help me create and increase my vitality and reduce my stress, I've been thinking a lot about the pressure that we put on ourselves as women and as men. And I just wanted to stop by today and offer you a big permission slip to take some of that pressure off. Because I know there's lots of ways that pressure shows up in your life from external forces, be it relationships or jobs or money, or just there's so many different pressure pieces, pressure points that can really contribute to the overwhelm that I know that so many of us feel, that lead to burnout and all the things that we don't want to feel. And so one of the little practices that I like to do is because I think that sometimes we have this misbelief about overwhelm and burnout, that we think, you have to take a 7-day trip to Tahiti and be able to restore and replenish. But it's actually the simple things that you do on a daily life. There's all these amazing simple rituals and simple practices that you can do that are short, sometimes less than a minute, and the one I'm going to give you right now. And that give you the power to actually take the pressure off. And so my question for you today, beloved, as a invitation for you to take some of the pressure off that you might be putting on yourself unknowingly, is what is it that you just don't have to do today? I know that you think that you have the capacity and the superpower and maybe even the obligation and the pressure to get more done than any person could possibly get done in one day. This happens to us all the time. You have 20 things on your to-do list, but really there's only 24 hours in a day. You're only really awake for about 15 of those. So you kind of can't do all of that. We have to make choices. And part of living a balanced life and living in harmony and saying no to overwhelm is giving yourself permission to say no to one or two things today that you're just not going to get to. And I know it can be really hard to do that on your own. It's hard for me to do that on my own. It's why I have my beloved Noah around me, who sometimes I'll just look at him and I'll say, can I do that tomorrow? It's why I've cultivated a practice of being able to actually what I call create space and move things out of when I think I need to do them in my brain, but really what's in support and what's support by the divine timing. We make up timelines all the time in our head that are just not real, you all. They're not real. And this is the thing. Most of those timelines are negotiable. And if you just focus on what's needed right now, the other stuff falls into place and the right time to do that shows up. So I'm going to ask you just to close your eyes for a moment and take a breath. Take a little harmony pause here with me. What is it, love, that you can release today? What one or maybe even two stretch yourself things can you release and say, you know what? I'm just not going to get to those today. I'm going to release them to the divine and someone else is going to handle it, or I will handle it when it's time. Go ahead and pick one or two things. I've already done this myself. I canceled a meeting this morning and I decided to move it to next week because I have other things to do, like tape this video for you and talk to you. And I have something else I'm doing to restore myself today. I'm going to go sit with one of my spiritual teachers. So I moved the meeting because I could, and I did. And so what are you going to do? What action are you going to take? Balance, harmony creating, pressure releasing action will you take today and say no to trying to do too much? Okay. So you have it. And if you don't have it, I want you to find a friend and say, I would love for you to help me figure out one or two things that I don't need to do today. And will you give me permission? I, Arylo, as, I guess some people call me the Queen of Self-Love. So as the Queen of Self-Love and as a woman who's really taking a stand for you to live a life that is sustainable, where you get all the, you have the success that you want, where you take care of what you love and who you love, and you also get your personal happiness and your personal health is intact, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So I send you off, beloved, to have a day with more space in it, to start to feel what it feels like when you don't try to do too much. And remember, you're also invited to join me for 40 days. We start this Saturday on a practice that is all about these small things that start to make shifts in us in the inside. Because one of the reasons you try to do too much in a day and you put the pressure on yourself is because you have faulty operating systems that have been wired to think you have to live that way. And it's just not true. But we have to rewire it and then have experiences where you can trust that, oh my God, I let that thing go and I didn't do it and the whole world didn't crash down around me. In fact, maybe someone else came by and picked it up. Or maybe there was a better day to do it when you didn't have to expend as much energy. And when you start to experience that in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, that's when the new operating system gets installed. And that's when you get upgraded to a life that's full of balance and harmony. So sending you off with much, much love, and look forward to continuing to create sustainable, successful, happy, healthy lives together. Much love.